Hello friends, welcome back to Ash of God's Redemption. We just escaped Albius and we are now on our way to the nearest Menhir in the hope that the monument will heal the plague. We have three choices. We can use the northern road, which will consume 44 sixes, but is the more direct route, or we can use Stonebridge or Coalburner's track. If you head to the Gabonan watchtower, this is the road that Rusk the merchant took, so it might be worth checking it out. See if we can catch him, because he knows a lot about the reaping. You approach the bodies with caution, keeping Gleda and the soldiers away once you realize how dreadful the sight is. The ears and faces of the victims have been cut off. Krieger grows pale at the sight of the slaughter. Shit. These are the guardsmen who are chasing after Rusk. The whole dozen of them. I recognize their uniforms. What kind of monster did this? The poor bastards had wives and children. You examine the corpses. Masterful work. They were each slain by a single blow, either to the neck or between the ribs. Look, there's the weapon. Stuck in one of the poor swords, the handle's broken. It's Rusk's axe. The captain's eyes widen in realization. I'll be damned if it isn't Rusk's. Used to hang on the wall in his shop. Remarkable piece. I've never seen another like it. But why would he butcher the corpses? You turn away from the bodies. Only Rusk can answer that, I'm afraid. One day he'll answer for this savagery. For now, let's decide on a course of action. Um, let's bury the gods. With your limited manpower, burying 12 bodies would take too long. Therefore, you decide to leave the poor souls as they are. You think for a moment, then ask Krieger to help you. Together, you turn the bodies face down, sparing your companions the gruesome sight. You attempt to enter the tower, but discover that the door is latched from the inside. It's scratched and dented, as if someone had taken an axe to it. Predictably, when you knock, nobody answers. You examine the rear wall of the tower and discover several small openings. Despite being barely a man's height off the ground, it looks as if there's embrasures. They're far too narrow to climb through, but do allow you to look inside. Let's peek inside. Inside the tower is steeped in gloom, yet you can still make out the appended furniture and puddles of blood. It seems you found the geraniums. Climb through the window. You need to send someone up the eroded tower wall. Not everyone is agile enough to climb that high and squeeze through a narrow window. So we're going to send Hode because he's an assassin, so should be agile enough to climb that high. Sop attempts to stop Hode, who answers with an obscene gesture. He produces a pair of daggers, wedges them between the stones, and nimbly climbs up. Quickly reaching the window, the young man disappears inside. You notice that his courage and agility have clearly impressed Gleda. Silence sets in, only to be interrupted by a muffled cry. You rush to the door. A moment later, you hear the latch sliding aside, proving your fears unwarranted. Your soldier emerges, his face pale. Inside lay the corpses of the general guards. They've been stabbed, but with the entire detachment lying dead in front of you. It's hard to tell by who. You examine the narrow embrasures in the walls, but it's unlikely that the guards were shot. There are no bolts or arrows in the bodies. Among the corpses you find the body of a captain. Only the gods know what brought him to this backwater. But the streaks from his insignia will be of use. Okay, we got 20 streaks. That's two less than the cost of the travel here. So I think it was worth it. You examine the road to the south and discover clods of earth, presumably left by horses joining the main track from a nearby dirt road. There must have been at least a dozen riders, and they passed through very recently. The earth is still fresh. The mysterious hoofprints make you uneasy. Soldiers from Odalah or Cherana would have stopped to check on the guardsmen. Unwelcome visitors to Barkana can only mean trouble. Western Road. Rusk could have gone west. You can examine the road to find out. There are no hoofprints on the road. In a quarter league, the ground becomes rocky. There's no way to tell if anyone rode west. You feel frustration at failing to intercept Rusk or even pick up his trail. You share the disappointment with Krieger. Krieger spits. Rusk is as good as gone now, the bastard. I'm sure he went further into Gebona, where you can ride for a day and not come across a single settlement. Lately, even the robbers have sort of died out. There's nothing for us there. You begrudgingly agree. Well, I hoped for good fortune, but it didn't come. We've no other choice but to head to the Menhir in Dynford village. You could not catch Rusk. It's time you go to the Menhir. Alright, we can still take this path or the mountain path. Let's check out the mountain path. They cost the same. In the distance you see a loaded wagon pulled by 6 horses. Judging by the bales and crates tied to its roof, it belongs to a wandering merchant, though the outguard is fit for a prince. You take a closer look and recognize Mulas, a money changer from Albius. Say hello. You catch up to the wagon and greet Mulas. He waves at you, smiling. You learn that he's decided to move to Ursus with his family and possessions. He'd moved out before the bell rang, so he knows nothing about the reaping. Look at the merchandise. I'm not going to tell him about the value of the sixes because he might increase the prices, and I'm not going to rob him because it might drop the morale of the party. Alright, what do we have here? Okay, if you buy the leather purse, we get 300 gold per battle. This is gear. We get 7 energy, minus 5 health. And item, and we can buy 20 strixes. Alright, I don't think this is worth it. You gain a lot more each battle. 300 gold. It's almost nothing. So let's get the merchant's bracelet. And that's about it. Say goodbye. Well, I sent his guard to see you off with a distrustful stare, but you soon leave the wagon far behind. The Frisian invaded Barcana. Hordes of Northerners are already marching across the lands of the Five Kingdoms. Let's continue to the abandoned camp. A barely visible mountain path diving into the cliffs, hiding under fallen rocks and breaking apart where the ground is cracked. Brett notices something and stops, dead in his tracks, pointing. You squint, but your eyesight isn't as keen as the young soldiers. There is a body, he explains, someone from our regiment, judging by the uniform. Turn to the body. Krieger rushes to the body. That's Land, a lad from my squadron. He asked to be sent on patrol with seasoned marksmen. That was only yesterday. How can this be? Examine the corpse. Inspecting the body, you find a small purse with some money, meaning it wasn't robbery. Land was definitely struck from behind. Someone snuck up on the young soldier. Where were his comrades, and where are they now? Bury Land. Okay, we got 100 gold. You have no time to dig a grave, so you cover Land's body with a mound of stones. You utter the expected words, and Gleda brings a small bouquet. You continue your journey feeling fulfilled. Okay, and we got 10% morale. I think when we reach... let me check something. Oh, we have some conversations to go through. Krieger. Could it be that Krieger sleeps with his eyes open? Why does his face look like it's been hacked out of dry wood with an axe? Don't you want to head your own way? Say to Oda? You mean go to my wife? She's likely praying this misfortune takes me away. As for the children, they're too young to understand anything. Do you remember the incident with the king of Odalach? Do you mean the time he came to Albius and Trouble had a digestive trouble? You can't forget that in a lifetime. I had to walk around wearing your ceremonial cuirass. I had to make speeches. It was the most terrible day of my life. Yes, it wasn't a normal day. It was like a small reaping. That's true. When the king left, I went to the tavern. I ordered a jug of wine and drank it down, and didn't get drunk at all. I don't remember anything after that, though. Man up, Krieger. If it gets too bad, set your jaw. Time is a river that carries away happiness and sorrow alike. You did your duty as best you could. You didn't cower in a hole trembling. I should have hidden, though. Would have been easier. I could have pretended to be a madman. You can still pretend. It's a kind of a way out. They can chop you into pieces, though, just like we did with the madman. You'd better go to sleep, Krieger. Maybe there is something else. You know, there's something moving inside me. A terrible thing, or maybe I'm terrible. I want to take a sword and stab everyone, or maybe myself. Maybe the madness is taking its toll. I think that everyone was affected, even in the plague recoiled from our strixes. Don't attack anyone. Keep it together, friend. I don't need the trouble of having to watch you. Fleet. The whippersnappers with the scroll, yet again. Time and again you scolded him in the barracks, and now he's raiding here. Hey friend, have you found a manuscript in here? I picked it up near the gates in Albius. I've already read it. It's the history of Frisia, nothing interesting. So, what do they have to say about Frisia? The same. The three kingdoms, Gordin, Gordan, and Ingordin. There are noblemen and even royal houses, but the Temple of Divine Rest power is nearly infinite. I heard that there are no true kings in Frisia. Yes, for the last 700 years. After the demise of all three kings of the Drowsy Deep, dukes rule the country. No one has been crowned. I heard that the crowns are kept at the altar of the Temple of Divine Wrath. Why didn't you stay in Oda? Are you asking me why I left the archives again? I really wanted to become a warrior. I still do. But it's a different kind of a choice. Not whether to be a scribe or a warrior. More about being a warrior scribe, not a weakling scribe. What did your father think about that? He was a royal scribe, you said so yourself. Too bad I never visited the royal archives in Oda. No one would have let me inside anyway. He'd be happy to see you, Thorn. You're the reason he sent me here. I can tell you, he wasn't always a royal scribe. He sailed with you to the Vale, an ordinary seaman. That's why I had a feeling that we met before. Yes, my father and I are like two peas in a pod. He's gone completely grey though. He was a ginger once. His name was Fleet, like yours. A bit younger, everyone saw him as a boy. You shall give him my deepest gratitude, if you can. He sent you his gratitude. Well, actually he did a year ago. What are your plans for after the leaping, Fleet? No matter how hard I think about it, it seems I have almost no chance of surviving this reaping. Not because I won't run for the hills and hide, it's because I'm not a hero at all. Only heroes survive. It's all in the hands of God's Fleet. I don't know what they are doing, writing books or showering us with luck. For all I know, it could be ill luck. There's one thing I'm sure of though. Heroes die even more often, only the lucky survive. It doesn't really matter if they fight bravely or hide in ditches. Whatever you say, Thorn, I will accept it. You should put the writing aside and rest. I might erase these scribbles and start describing our journey. Maybe a way to leave a mark behind for future generations. Just try to avoid leaving a mark with your blood, Fred. Nice one, Thorn. It's hard to joke about death, but you're quite good at it. Brett didn't get himself into a mess like he did in Albius.
Right.
Sitting all alone again, Brett? Hope you aren't shaking in your boots over what's to come. Not at all, Captain. You can get used to anything. You've already grown accustomed to the fact that something's not right in this world. Besides, I'm hardly alone. I'm in good company. You didn't just come to ask how I'm feeling, though, did you?
Right.
You're right. There's something else left to discuss. Can't help but point out that you're quite perceptive for your age. Always observant, trying to get to the bottom of things. That's not just talent either, it's the result of your training. Aren't you the son of some nobleman? No, Captain. Well, some bastard, maybe. I never knew my father, but I've been looked after for all of my admittedly short life. They're always concerned about me. They help my mother and see to my education. However, I know neither my benefactor's name nor motives. And you never yearned to learn more? Of course I did, but either my teachers didn't know anything or got enough gold to keep mum about it. My benefactor also convinced my mom that I'd be better off in blissful ignorance. Quite a puzzle they left you. Hope you managed to find the answer. Where did you get your training apart from the Albius regiment? Couldn't remember all of it, even if I tried. I don't settle anywhere for long. The moment I learn my way around and make some progress, I get transferred elsewhere. Seems like Albius is the longest I've stayed in one place. Someone may be deliberately preparing you for something. Didn't you consider that? I've been entertaining the idea, even though maybe they want to mold me into some sort of spy. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm best at making connections between what I see and what I know. I'm sure we'll put this talent of yours to good use. Have any surprises in store for me? Same as everyone else, Captain. I mean, our squad's full of peculiar characters, as if you've been gathered here by the gods for some higher purpose. Agreed, everyone's got their strengths and weaknesses. Since you're so perceptive, mind telling me about my weakness? Gleda is your strength and your weakness. None of us come close to that. Something about her elevates her above most folk. I don't mean her looks either, but something on the inside. A kind of spark or a flame, I don't know how to put it exactly. You're right about that. Gleda's also exceptionally stubborn, always wanting it her own way. Got that from her mother, or maybe from me. I guess that's all I wanted to know. Then allow me a question too. Do you think we'll survive the ripping? I do. Otherwise, all we do is pointless. I'll push onwards with all my strength. Hope you'll do the same. I'll try. Sometimes I lack the necessary fortitude. Everywhere around me I see signs of the end of the world, as we know it. However, with you by my side, I'm seeing this in a different light, Captain. Maybe my logic isn't sound and we do have a chance, whatever that might be. Well, thanks for the kind words, if that was your intention. Okay, we can level up Gleda. Forgot about that. So she has an ability that requires 9 health, double strike. But heavy strike. Both double strike and heavy strike require 9 health, but if you unlock the nimble blade ability, you will no longer have to spend 9 health points to use the ability. Perfect. And because the loyalty is high, you get 10% to stats. Alright, let's continue our journey. Old road. An old mountain road leading to the wooden bridge. Brett notices some albus guards on the road and hails them. They turn around, approaching quickly to meet you. They're clearly in a hurry, lashing their horses mercilessly. It brings to mind the mad guards from Albius and the signs the Reaper could throw around the city. It seems clear why the patrol was in such a rush. Or is there another reason? Prepare to fight? You order your companions off the road to a place safe from horsemen. They're surprised but obey the order. Meanwhile, the watchmen dismount and run toward you, weapons drawn. They foam at the mouth, faces twisted with rage. Alright, so I was right. You fight. Oh, we have a new card. Increases running distance by 3 and energy by 12. Let's use this too. On Gleda because she has very low energy. The lowest amount of energy. And the party... Yeah, okay. I'm okay with this party. I'm okay with this party. Okay, this is their tank. Going to put everyone here. so they can come to me one by one. Okay. Now, I moved southwards because I want to give him, he will be the bait. I will give him 6 more defense. None of the enemy's units can touch him now. So I'm just gonna stop here. That's okay. The spearman is such a good unit. They have reach, they can attack from behind. It's amazing. Now I can move back. Can use defense. Can use defense every turn. Zero damage. Okay. Now I can kill this guy, I think. No, I can't. That's so sad. Perfect. What do I want to do? I think I want to kill you so I can increase my HP. I am going back. Try and kill this guy. Fine. Yeah, the heroes go for Greta. It's like she's a magnet. Okay, this guy is dangerous. Has 11 attack. So because I did not activate him, he still has the defense from the last turn. Okay, I'm going to try and stun this guy because he has 12 attack. Why does he have 12 attack? Because of this ability. I killed a lot of the units. That's nothing. Alright. I'm now going to kill this guy. Alright. When do you speed up? Because I wanna reach this guy. I wanna try power strike. Okay. And he's dead. I have 17 attack with this guy. Alright, we got another item that gives us 1 energy. No level ups. Your companions collect some of your horses that wandered away during the fight. The Witchman's mounts are much more exhausted, barely standing. The cheese has worn out everyone. When you set out, you remember that anyone can turn out to be an enemy. Yep. Okay, let's give you some energy. Let's continue to to Dainford Menhir, Dainford village. A lone horseman comes a lone horseman comes into sight on the outskirts of Dainford village. His horse barely trudges along. It looks like it galloped without rest. The rider, just as exhausted, doesn't notice you until you catch up to him. Krieger raises himself in the stirrups, glares at the traveler and shouts, "Well, if it isn't Ramlin! Wait, you knucklehead, you! Don't you recognize your commander?" Taken aback, the lad hunches his shoulders, but then sees in relief when he recognizes Krieger. "Hello, Captain Krieger. What brings you here? I'm on my way home. Not that far off, in fact." Krieger squints to scan the nearby houses. "Your village isn't going anywhere, and your horse needs some rest anyhow. You'll ride the poor thing to death, you bonehead. Get off before it crushes you." Ramlin gets off the horse and the exhausted animal collapses. You give the young guard a scornful glance and dismount in order to talk to him. "Get your breath, boy. Take it easy. Now tell me one thing. We passed a dozen hamlets yesterday, but didn't see a single person. Do you know what's going on?" "I don't know. I didn't stop by any hamlets. In fact, I didn't stop at all." "Did you notice anything strange on your way?" "The footprints, maybe. Lots of them. Looks like a party on horseback, larger than yours. I didn't see them even though I rode without rest, but my guess is that they're heading for our menhir." "We noticed that too. I can't imagine what company this could be. It's too big for a Berkanan patrol. Could it be bandits? I hope that they don't find their way into your village." "Never seen any bandits in these parts. We're not rich and there are several bows and lances in every home. They'd lose more than they'd gain. There's also a watch around the menhir, and they would come to our aid." "Alright, we'll deal with those mysterious horsemen later. How did you ever manage to ride for so long?" "Well, I know a sort of incantation. Bucks you up a bit. Learned it from my grandma. She's one of the bundles. They know their stuff." "Can you buck us up?" "Not yet, too tired. Besides, I'm a bit of a weakling compared to my grandma. She's very skilled, and she's also got special powders and poultices." "We'll definitely see your grandma on the way back. I hope she sells us some potions to keep us healthy." "Well, we have to set out." "Yes, of course. I'll drop by my grandma's and then head to the manor. I suppose I'll return to Stein afterwards. Don't think me a deserter, Captain." "Just go already. Nobody's accusing you of anything. Visit your grandma or return to the watchtower. We are too preoccupied to care." You pass a village. Its empty streets strike you as odd. A feeling of foreboding sets in, but you shrug it off. Right now, your only goal is the married. Everything else comes second. The villagers must have gathered near the sacred stone. Fritz says it's a holiday after all. You agree, relieved. Indeed, villages near the menhirs traditionally hold spring festivities. Lost in thought, you don't immediately notice someone addressing you. Fleet calls to you again, pointing to the road. There's something smoking there as scavengers circle the black plumes. You slow down to take a closer look. A heap of corpses sits in the middle of the road. So many bodies, men and women, old and young, even children. There's a scaffold and some spears sticking out of the ground. The smell of blood makes you lightheaded. You trot closer, pulling back the reins of your horse. Scorched and torn asunder, these people died without making a sound, their mouths choked with dirt. Severed limbs lie nearby. You turn around slowly. Gleda stands nearby, clenching the hilt of a sword. The others stand further back, frozen in place. Gleda sobs, she's petrified, unable to get a word out. Feeling sick, she runs off on stiff legs. You order your men to help Gleda and keep you at a distance. A low whimper draws your attention. You notice a pregnant woman struggling under the corpses. She suffered severe mutilation and won't last long without aid. It seems the woman will deliver her child within a matter of hours. If you leave her here to die, the child dies with her. If you bring her along, she'll be a great burden, not to mention the baby if it survives. Try to help. You wade through the corpses and pull the woman out from under the pile. Your companions come to your aid. Your group lacks a healer and it's pointless to return to the village. These corpses are all that's left of it. Seems you'll have to bring the woman to the Menhir. You stop your company at the bridge. There are suspicious figures on the other side. The watchman's bodies hang nearby, and the Menhir is soaked in blood. You see a man being forced into the stone. He then falls to the ground, writhing in pain. Fleet grows pale. Aren't they answers? The old chronicles call them abominations. I've read they wield enchanted blades that can fly. Rip time is upon us. You draw your sword. They've noticed us. Be on your guard. These aren't fools. They've gathered near the bridge. We'll have to dismount. Don't swerve a narrow path like this. You'll only get in each other's way. Gleda, look after the wounded girl. While giving orders, you fail to notice Fisk rushing into the bridge with his spear held high. He's yelling some nonsense about courage. Nothing left to do but order an attack and rush out to him. You weren't expecting such mettle from a mere god, but he's first to the fight. Huh, interesting. I wonder why. Okay, so we can't take Gleda with us. So let's put another archer. Let's put you in the front. Oh, I can't move you. Okay. Let's give you the ring. And I think that's it. Oh my god, okay, so you need to go back. Alright, that's it, I think. I'm going to move here. 7 attacks, 7, 7, 7, 5. Okay, this guy is a sorcerer. He heals health and energy and deals 5 damage to everyone on the line. She also increased defense by 3 to all party members. Okay. Oh no. Oh my god. That's not good. How are they doing so much damage? Oh, he used deadly jab, okay. That's fine by me. Perfect. I think it's not worth attacking their energy because the values are very close to each other. And he doesn't have any armor. Okay. Alright, I really need to kill this guy. So, I'm going to move here. I think this will be a close one. Okay. Okay. Alright, this should be easy. I'm going to stun this guy. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. pretty bad. I need defense. A lot of defense. This guy can kill me. So the best thing I can do is use berry. Okay. I'm going to move here. Now you can't kill me. Okay. You want that? I'm gonna move you here. Okay, I'm gonna kill you. Okay. Not a problem for me. Ooh, that was close. If one of your characters is down, he gets a wound. Characters with a wound have lower stats. We got 5 level ups. You approach Fisk after the fight. I see they got you good. I didn't even have time to notice you getting hit by those witchblade shots. Why did you charge anyway, you damn fool? Fisk tries to stop the bleeding. I'll not be called a coward. Never been one. They cut my thigh a bit, so what? My ass ain't up. I can still sit in a saddle. Fisk try... You can barely suppress your anger. Some fucking hero you are, you doll. Try disobeying me again. Just try. Get someone to dress your wounds, then head to the tower and lay low. We'll handle things here ourselves. You notice Ramlin on the bridge. He totters along, eyes lifeless. You know the horrors he's seen and want to approach him, but Gleda beats you to it. Ramlin hugs her and starts crying, nearly choking on his tears. You can't bring yourself to interrupt them. So all the people that that we found dead um, before the battle were from Ramlin's village, apparently. Greta tries to calm him down while you listen to his jumbled account of what happened in the empty village. Judging by the bloodstains, some of the bodies were thrown in the river, and some he goes silent. You turn your attention to the Menhir. Some were sacrificed on the Menhir. They killed everyone in my village. Some were thrown in the river, others, well, you saw the corpses along the road, even people from the neighboring hamlets. Why do these bastards do this? I don't know. Seems like they savor pain and death. In any case, we purge this place of abominations and will kill any more of them we find. Touching the locket on his neck, my grandmother thought I was wizard material. She even gave me her amulet. Let me come with you, Thorn. I don't want to be a wizard, I want to be a warrior. That's why I joined the gods. Take the amulet, please. Refuse to take the locket. Some battles are won by sorcerers, not swordsmen. Though wielder of magic are warriors too, in a sense. Your grandmother's amulet is Strix encrusted. That explains a lot. Keep it. Now, if you're ready to fight and follow orders, you can come with us. Anything else you want to say? Loyalty increased. Listening nervously, Ramlin opens his purse, hands shaking, and gives you several magic cards. How did you come by magical cards? They're heavy, like lead, and hard to the touch, and you say you don't want to be a wizard? These cards belong to my grandmother. I played with them when I was little. She said that if they got heavier, it meant playtime was over and something bad was brewing. I want to give them to you. You're my senior. You should use them. Do you even realize what they are? What's there to realize? Grandmother said that these cards aid those who wish to use magic or shield themselves from it, but have no shamanic power on their own. They're Qimran, and the Qimra themselves are said to be descended from those abominations. Examining the cards, I've heard of them, wasn't expecting that they'd suddenly gain power. I won a couple myself. Who could have guessed that ancient trinkets would be of use? The ripping started, Thorn. What used to be superstition and legend is now manifesting through magic. You must have noticed that some items are displaying special properties. The cards are no exception. What use are your cards? You can normally figure out what a card does by the picture. They're not for wizards, remember? They're for those deprived of such power, so each carries a clue. Easy as falling off a horse. Grip the card tightly and use your will to direct its power. They're useful, no arguing that, but I'm more at ease with a sword at my hip. You can't scatter an enemy squad with a hand of cards. There's actually an achievement that requires you not to use a card the whole game. So this dialogue is a subtle hint. If you didn't use the card until now, any cards until now, who knows? I've never used them myself, but it's possible that a card might trump a weapon. Everyone can use them. It's worth remembering. Who knows? I've never used them myself, but it's possible that a card might trump a weapon. Oh, already read that. Why are some broken? They're not broken, just incomplete. I remember when my grandmother got hold of a handful of shards. She assembled a picture and then the shards sort of glued themselves together.
Right.
Do you suggest I hunt for these shards everywhere I go? It's up to you. People have always collected fragments of these cards, even though they have no idea their true value, using them as amulets and souvenirs. That's why you'll find many merchants selling them. Same with items which contain trickses. So this was one of the major changes in the last update the game received. Besides the new combat system, they removed the fragments. So you collect the cards directly, you don't need to collect fragments that form cards. That was quite annoying. Thank you, but it's time we
Mm.
left. Take care with these cards, anyone can use them. Sometimes it's better to rely on a weapon instead of standing around and waiting for something magical to happen. I expect you to do more than just stand there. If you can cast proper spells, do it, and thank you for the plaques. I have a feeling you will need them. Oh, loyalty increased even more. Well, you can count on me and make haste. There's something strange and evil emanating from the Menhir. I wouldn't die. We got five sixes. You watch Raplin go and notice the commotion near the wounded woman. Greta stops you as you run up. She's giving birth, Dad. Chase them all off and let Ramlin do this thing. Do his thing. Seems like he's the only one who knows what to do. Everyone runs around looking for clean water and rags. You don't remember feeling such pressure, even when commanding a company of soldiers. After all the effort, you're finally rewarded with a baby's cry. Gleda looks at you woefully. The baby's safe, but we couldn't help the mother. She'd gone through too much. I'll search the supplies of the watch. Maybe I can find some milk, but I need to find a safe place for the baby. We shouldn't delay. Blood on the ground. We need to know what happened here. You walk up to the manor and find familiar hoofprints. The mysterious horsemen are Anses. However, only two horses remain at the hitching post, which means that some of the abominations left before your arrival. You thank the gods for sparing you an encounter with the horrid riders twice. Time is short, the Anses could return at any moment. And here is the manor, your destination. Was it worth the journey? Huh. Hey, Captain, what you standing around for? Go take a look at the menu. You afraid of getting your hands dirty or something? Not a pretty sight though. Looks like those fiends drenched the stone in blood. I told you to lie low, didn't I? Was that too much to ask? If you must know, I'm wondering if we should touch it. Do you see that monk fellow lying there? The answers force him into the manor. What happened, Captain? Didn't you used to say that all the sorcery stuff was bollocks? Besides, those abominations are no match for the gods, that's for sure. Maybe we'll get rid of these nooses around our necks. Wait, you have a death wish or something? As for magic, I've seen enough over the last few days. What else could it be but sorcery? I even saw a man drop dead the moment he touched the menhir. I ain't arguing what you saw, I'm just saying that you could have misinterpreted, you know? I mean, the sacred stones can't just stop healing all of a sudden. They've been helping folks for centuries. There hasn't been a reaping in centuries. Let's not foolishly add to the death count. No one touches the stone. We'll reach the double banner on the way to Ursus. Let's go. You warn your companions of the danger posed by the menhir. Fisk turns a deaf ear. Ignoring your shouts, he walks to the stone and touches its surface. A brief moment passes before the guard drops to the ground screaming. He squirms and clutches his neck, then finally goes silent. You curse Fisk's stubbornness and approach his body. Black marks encircle his neck like a noose. For a moment, his fate seems inevitable. The poor sap had really been asking for it. It's frustrating all the same. Your companions look to you. A man lies dead at your feet. For all his recklessness and brashness, he still trusted you. You have to say something. A foolish death is still a death. Fisk hid behind no one. Nothing he did was worthy of reproach. Greta presses herself against your shoulder. He was like an open wound, she says quietly, always expecting fate to deliver a sudden blow. It was his own fault. Oh god. Okay, we lost Fisk. Now is a good time to tidy up and give orders. Okay, let's level up. What do I want to do? I want even more defense. Oh, I can't use this yet. Oh, let's reduce the cooldown to the knockback. Perfect. -2 cooldown, great. Even the units that you don't use in combat are gaining experience, so they won't remain behind. Okay. Power absorption. Nope. Nope. What's this? +5 health. Spirit armor. Attack. Reduces attack of party member by 1, increase defense by 4. Do I want that? Yes, I do. What do I want? More damage and more distance. And you too. I want lower cooldown to Hoda's best ability. Perfect. What else? I think that's it. Yep. We have new cards. What's this? Increase energy by 7 to all party members. This one activates in round 2. And chokehold reduces health by 11. That's cool. Gleda. Alright. Okay. That's so sad that we lost a burial near a man usually requires special permission, but none of the methods to do now. You decide against burying the bodies by the road. At least the fallen beside the man have found a common grave. With no further business here, you prepare to depart. You notice Gleda is deep in thought. Before you can say a word, Gleda speaks up. Dad, why didn't you let me go on the bridge, Dad? Am I a bad fighter, or were you going easy on me during training? You feign surprise, and who else would care for the wounded? Our men aren't exactly a nurturing bunch, so I put my trust in you. And judging by how you handled childbirth, I wasn't wrong to do so. As for going easy on you during training, that's complete and utter nonsense. Call Hody as a witness. You turn to the lad. He nods agreeably. Everyone knows your father is a stick in the mud, Gleda. Don't go barking up the wrong tree. Besides, the results speak for themselves. You're likely the best fencer among us. You can tell that Gleda is taken aback by all the praise and decide to seize the moment. Grab your stuff, all of you. The child's going with you, Gleda. There's a squad of ensigns prowling about, so get back in those saddles, everyone. Make haste.